Hello, my name is Henry Rollins. I'm in the Rollins Band, and tonight I'm your guest host for 120 minutes on MTV.
Into the future. Good morning. Good into the good. 120 minutes.
It's 120 minutes on MTV, and I am tonight's guest host, Henry Rollins. I'm in the Rollins Band, and tonight I'll be playing brand new videos from a whole bunch of bands, like the Beastie Boys, Therapy, Wool, plus the latest from Dinosaur Jr., 10,000 Maniacs, Belly, 9 Inch Nails, and a cult classic from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Also, we got a great Iggy Pop clip from a few years back, and we'll be playing you a video of my band so you can have a laugh, and then a piece of this talking video that's coming out of me soon. And we're going to kick things off right now with the latest video from a band called The. You remember them. And they did this with the guy who does all the Cure videos, those beautiful videos from the Cure. The guy's name is Tim Pope, and this song is off their 4th album called Dusk. And this song is called Dogs of Lust. From their soon-to-be-released 5th album, Where You Been? Now it's Dinosaur Jr. with Start Shop, and here on MTV's 120 Minutes, you know me, I'm Old Man Rollins from the Rollins Band, and tonight I am your guest host. And I'm sorry, friends, I have some bad news for you. One of the best bands ever, I think, a band called the Pixies from Boston. They broke up after 7 years and 5 albums, and they have called it quits, and they are going their separate ways. But the good news is that everyone in the band is working hard on new stuff. Black Francis has a self-titled debut album coming out, and he's now working under the handle Frank Black. So watch out for that one. And he's got the guy Joey Santiago from the Pixies playing with him on a number of tracks. And Dave Lovering is playing in the studio with British industrial duo Nitzer Ebb. And, you know, Kim is busy doing her thing with the Breeders. You've heard of them before. And so that's the basic breakdown on that. We don't want you to hear any unofficial rumors. No one is dead. They're just going their own separate ways. And next time you see Black Francis, you can ask him the whys and wherefores. At this moment, there are no breaking facts to tell you. This is a segment of the show where I get to hype myself. And I'm going to dodge it as artistically as I can. Just put it this way. The band I'm in, we're not doing nothing for a few months because we just finished 162 shows and we're really sick of each other's guts. And so I'm just going to go all around the world doing my talking shtick. That's where I go out without a band, just me and a microphone and my attitude, and I go out and I talk. Anyway, enough of that. Right now we're going to see the Rollins Band playing a song called Tearing, and this was the video directed by the very famous Modi of Motivation Films, the only woman in her 30s to wear a wig, have a glass eye, and wear clogs in the 90s. So roll it, please.
Plunge into the depths of the liquid television marathon. Next Saturday, soak in it.
Usually you do these gigs and everyone that wants to be into it, they're trying so hard. And you watch them and they're like standing like this, like trying to be into it, like, but inside they're going, God, I wish you just finished so I can go home and say, I saw it. Because you've been up since who knows what time you got up in the morning, and what do you do for a living? It's usually standing around and listening to some asshole tell you what to do. And then you go to a gig and you get to stand around more. And then these people just talk and talk and talk and talk. And then the last guy goes on and he always goes real long. And then by the time it's finished, you hate the guy. And he never stops talking, keeps talking, and you'd like to take some kind of blunt instrument and just get him to shut up. You're watching MTV's 120 Minutes. I'm your host, the unstoppable mouth, Mr. Henry Rollins from the Rollins Band, and I'm your guest host. And coming up, more of my big fat mouth. And even more interesting than that is a video clip from 10,000 Maniacs and Belly. And, you know, Belly features X-Throwing Muses guitarist Tanya Donnelly. And right here, the 4th video from the Beastie Boys' Check Your Head album. And, you know, they've done a whole bunch of videos off that record. And a new one is always welcome. They did one for What You Want, Time for Living. And here's one for the song Gratitude. From their fourth album, Our Time in Eden, that was 10,000 Maniacs with a song called Candy Everybody Wants. 10,000 Maniacs played a couple of weeks ago at MTV's inaugural ball in D.C., and Michael Stipe from R.E.M. jumped up on stage with them, and they kicked a cover of Lulu's To Sir With Love, and another song, I guess. I forget all that information. That wasn't briefed enough at the door. You know me. I'm Henry Rollins. This is MTV's 120 Minutes, like I really need to tell you again. And coming up is some clips of me and my big fat face talking from this video experience I did a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, more videos coming up from Nine Inch Nails and Tanya Donnelly's new band, Belly. And after the break, my favorite video of all time. I am not kidding. This song by Iggy Pop. Anyway, I was home just in time to watch the great TV show that engulfed Los Angeles for 3 days. No matter what channel you turned on, it was the Shit Is on Fire show. Every channel, like Channel 7, another anonymous strip mall is on fire. And it's like nighttime, you see like men with garden hoses. Oh, get it? You know, no. Huge Niagara Falls hoses dumping into massive, volcanic expanses of flame. Didn't stop it. And you couldn't watch any other show except the Shit Is Burning show. Whoa, we're hanging on by the seat of our pants here. My name is, what's line? My name is Henry Rollins, I'm in the Rollins. You're watching MTV's 120 Minutes. That part I got right. And coming up is some more of my fat face from that thing that you just saw, and a video from Nine Inch Nails. Intensity they have. And the video from Belly, which has Tanya from Throwing Muses in it. And if you never heard the band Throwing Muses, I suggest you go out and check them out. They were totally great. But right here, right now, is my favorite video in the world, and it's by Iggy Pop. It's a song he did for a soundtrack for a movie called Black Rain. The song is called, I guess, The Edge of the Night or something like that. Living on the Edge of the Night. I just got cued by the guy on the side who makes more than I do a week. And this is an amazing video just because the man has so much amazing stage presence and overall presence that you can stick him in a room and just let him go. And it's amazing. Please watch this video very closely. The man is charged with a very unique and wonderful electricity. Wow. That was a pretty wild angle, huh? It was like we were watching some kind of Hitchcock. That was a Hitchcock shot. That was, yeah, you like that reference. Right on. You're a fan. You like the good stuff. I could tell. That was like a sweeping crane shot. And number 34, the sweeping crane. You know me, I'm Henry Rollins. I'm your great American pastime. I just wanted to say something, man. I'm going to totally break out of the format and the context here just to say one thing. You all watch MTV probably several hours a week. Why not? You get do what you like. But just understand one thing. When you see these bands doing their thing and you figure, I'll never be that good, I'll never be able to do any of that, realize one thing. A lot of these bands, when they do their records, they're playing to click track. Like that, because the drummer can't really keep time. And sometimes when you see a song, do you realize that it's like the band played the song 5 different times and they took the best parts of each and glued them together on tape? It's called making a composite. It happens all the time. There still is a wonderful thing you can do with yourself. Instead of being awed by all these people with their wonderful hair and airbrushed faces, you can also go out and get yourself a guitar, learn some rudimentary chords, and play yourself and be only inspired by all these people and not awed by them. You can be awed into submission to where you will sit and be a fan for the rest of your life instead of being someone who does. That's why you should learn the lesson from Nirvana. If you're going to get anything from Nirvana besides the fact that they're a good rockin' band, is the fact that you can be a mere mortal on the planet, not be the big, attractive, perfectly styled guy have a greasy t-shirt and an attitude, pick up a guitar, and actually make some meaningful music if you can get your hands to move up and down the neck. And you figure half these boneheads can't even read and they can play guitar, you stand a really good chance. And I just wanted you to remember that, because when you do watch TV, you often see a very finalized product. You see a lot of lighting, a lot of makeup, a lot of camera work, you know, the sweeping crane shot, for instance. And I just don't want you all just to be so freaked out that you'll never do anything. Like if you go see a Picasso exhibit, the guy's so great, you'll never want to pick up a paintbrush. Or, on the other hand, you want to do nothing but hold a paintbrush and paint. You can either be awed or inspired. I go for the inspiration side of things. You know, it's much easier to be inspired by James Brown than to have to live under your bed because he's so good. You know what I mean? Good. Let's show a video. Do something. Just take it away. 9 Inch Nails. 9 Inch Nails. There's some intensity. How much more intense can you get than Trent? Roll it, please. Oh, hi. Remember when Chevy Chase used to do that in the 70s? Of course you don't. You're too young. I'm Henry Rollins. And we are now crossing the 50-yard line. We are heading towards the end zone. We are in the second hour of 120 minutes, and hopefully you still have some blood left in your veins. And in the next hour, we're going to see more of me and some alternative music videos. Alternative to what? This is the new mainstream. L7, Sugar, Therapy, and REM, and a cult classic from the Chili Peppers. All these are coming up very, very soon. Please don't go away. And upcoming right now from their new record, the band is called Mudhoney. The album is called Piece of Cake. The song is called Blinding Sun. I played with these guys a few times all over the world. Never once did the bass player give me any respect. And for that, I like that guy. He's got a lot of courage. And from their debut album, Smeared, that's a band from Halifax, Nova Scotia. They're called Sloan, and the song is called Underwhelmed. I quite liked that one, actually. I thought it was very good. As you know, by now you're watching MTV, and you know who I am. I am Idi Amin Dada. Okay, no, I'm not. I wanted to take this short amount of time to do a PSA for your musical enjoyment. You think your parents are a bunch of squares. Perhaps they are. You should take a moment and dig through their record collection, if they have one. You might be surprised. I went through my mom's record collection several years ago and found that her musical tastes were incredible. She had Thelonious Monk, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Sonny Rollins, Count Basie, Duke Ellington. These are great musicians, and you probably don't know who any of those people are. They're not in Pearl Jam. They're not in Soundgarden. These are guys who came way before those wonderful bands. I urge you to go check out some different kind of musics that you might not see on the station. MTV does cover a lot of music. We got to give them that big thumbs up for the big M. But, you know, there's a lot of other music out there that no one necessarily does videos for, like Charlie Parker, the great saxophone player. Or a guy like King Sunny Ade. You ever heard of him? He's from Nigeria. He plays wonderful music. Check out Bob Marley sometime. There's a lot of music that you can go out and check out. And there's a lot of great old rock and roll from when your parents were growing up, because believe me, when they were 18, they were thinking about all the same things that you think about right now. You ever heard of Buddy Holly? You ever heard of Gene Vincent? Gene Vincent is one of the most amazing vocalists ever. Bebopalula, all that kind of stuff. Man, there's so much great music out there. I just wouldn't want to see you limiting yourself to like 10, to the 10 cool albums that you see on the top 10 of Rolling Stone's college airplay list. Because believe me, you haven't even scratched the surface of the music that is out there. Why, at home, in my personal collection, I have over 70 John Coltrane CDs. And they all get played, and I love them all very dearly. John Coltrane, this saxophone player from, I guess he was born in one of the Carolinas, he died in 1967, is as deep and as awesome, as intense as anyone who ever picked up an instrument or a paintbrush or a camera or a gun or an atomic bomb or anything. You should check out this stuff. I'm telling you, there's a world of music out there that would put many colors on your palette that you did not believe were there. And As you know, the Red Hot Chili Peppers are up next. And if you ever asked Flea about the music he likes, he'll probably tell you pretty much, a bunch of jazz guys. The guy, he loves jazz. He's a trumpet player, Flea is. In fact, Flea and I went to go see a wonderful piano player a couple of weeks ago called Ahmad Jamal. Ahmad Jamal is a huge influence on Miles Davis. It was easily the best gig I saw in 1992. If I had to go on with the Mighty Rollins Band after these guys, it was a 60-plus-year-old piano player, 60-plus-year-old bass player named John Hurd, and this young guy on drums named Yuron Israel. If I had to go on after those guys, no matter what kind of music you like, you would all agree that those three guys, unmic'd, acoustic, unplugged, blew us off stage so hard that our teeth would be in our socks. So, that's all I'm going to say. We're going to move on to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, jazz lovers. Please, 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 please expand your musical tastes before it's too late. I wanted to be black so bad because they were the coolest, man. And their music was cooler than, Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush, Stevie Wonder, yeah. Earth, Wind, and Fire. That shit was cool, not ELO. I hope that doesn't get taken the wrong way. My name is Henry Rollins. I'm in the Rollins Band. This is 120 minutes, and we got a couple of more videos coming up. A band called Therapy. And I played with them at the Reading Festival a few months ago. They were really amazing. And another video by Bob Mould's new outfit called Sugar. Good to see Bob Mould back in the mix. And right now, a video from the girls you love to love and love to lust after, L7. And I had a lot of wonderful road experiences with L7. One of them actually touched me once in Italy. She pulled my pants off in front of about 700, 800 rabid fans. And I'd stand out there. Bob Mould's new outfit called Sugar. Good to see Bob Mould back in the mix. And right now, a video from the girls you love to love and love to lust after, L7. And I had a lot of wonderful road experiences with L7. One of them actually touched me once in Italy. She pulled my pants off in front of about 700, 800 rabid fans. And I'd stand out there on stage, and all of a sudden it went from a rock gig to a comedy show because my pants were down around my knees and everyone was laughing at me. They did an album called Bricks Are Heavy. The song from it that we're going to watch is called Pretend We're Dead. As you know, they had a great time down in Brazil playing with all those bands. They work hard. They don't mess around. They're the hardest working girls in rock and roll, besides the guys in Warren. Please roll the video before I get fired from a job I don't even have. From their first full-length album, Nurse, that was a band called Therapy, and that was a song they did called Nausea. And you saw it here first on 120 Minutes. Tonight, I am your host. I don't work here full-time. I'm just the fill-in guy. My name is Henry Rollins. And coming up, more of my fat face from my home release, Him and His Fat Face. And we're going to see a brand new video from Wool. And after that, we're going to see REM. So just hang on after the break and we'll get Michael Stipe to you presently, automatically. I worked for Hubert Humphrey in the late 60s for his election campaign. So me and my mom were driving her little hippie mobile VW downtown and a mace canister bounced off the hood. And we were in it, man. And my mom was going to those marches. And it was like, yeah! She's an intense lady, man. Imagine like Mia Farrow on like cheap drugs. Like Mia Farrow, she did like a 4-foot line of cleanser. Like came after you with something. Like, damn, girl. Can you imagine getting paid to bag on your mom? That's what I do. The ultimate revenge. You were mean to me, and now I get back. Up next is the latest video from REM, a band who I like very much. I've known Michael Stipe for several years. He's a good buddy and a great guy. He once did a video for the Rollins band. He called me up one time and said, you want to do a video? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, when you come to Athens, we'll do a video. I go, I don't have that kind of money. Oh, we'll do it on Super 8, don't worry. Okay. So we went down there, and we're playing away, and there's Michael running around the club with this Super 8 camera, and the video came out great. It has nothing to do with the song whatsoever. He put together like this 3-minute montage, if you will, and they just kind of slapped the music right over it, and it looks great. Right. Well, so here's the video, Man on the Moon. It's new. It's REM. It's Michael. Thanks for staying up and hanging out with us here on 120 Minutes tonight. I'm Henry Rollins, and I've been hanging out here with you for the last hour and some. And I think we should get on to the final video of tonight. And this is really cool because I know a lot of the guys in this band. This is a band called Wool. And it was made up of a bunch of guys I used to hang out with in Washington, D.C. many years ago. The two brothers in the band, Peter and Franz Stahl, used to be in a band called Scream, who I used to go see several times. And the last time I ever saw them, they had the Nirvana drummer David Grohl playing with them, and that was a fantastic show. David was a great drummer even back then. Anyway, the drummer in Wool, his name is Pete Moffat, and he was in a band from D.C. also called GI, or Government Issue. And the bass Al Block, bassist, he played on Concrete Blonde's second album. That's another great band you should check out. What a set of pipes Johnette has. Anyway, they have a debut EP coming out in the fall, and right now we get to play their video, Medication. And the idea is called Part of You Dies. And part of you dies all the time. And so I deal with that the best I can when parts of me die. And that's why I write, because when parts of me die, it hurts, and I write about it. Parts of you die all the time. Sometimes it's beautiful, most of the time it just hurts. And anyway, I wrote this last night, like 3 in the morning. Time with you was perfect, never boring, never wasted. You were always the same, intense and beautiful, amazing. I would look at you as we sat in places. You awed me with your sheer presence. When I was away from you, I would stare at your picture endlessly. Something you never got a chance to find out. Something you'll never know. One fact. I would have done anything for you, knowing that it all could have been used against me. I know what happens when you do that even a little. I have the scars. For you, I would have pulled sunlight from thin air and lifted the curses from your life. I loved you so. It's tragic at this point. It's like an ongoing funeral. You're out there somewhere, and sometimes I feel myself dying slow, knowing that you're alive somewhere, and someone else is smelling your hair and touching your neck. You know how those barbed and clawed nights can pass. They rip the meat right off your back, send you into a corner, and leave you with enough of your senses to realize that you'll live to see another hammering night alone. So that's where I was at 3:30 a.m. this morning, man. True love, man. You know what the painful part about that old last shtick was? It's all true, man. That was real heartbreak. That's at least enough for 3 albums. Right there. That girl, that was what you call the 3-album girl. That's a concept album girl. That's like Helen of Troy or something, where like you get the ships and you sail them off. It's so bad. It's like in Dracula when the guy has been missing his woman for 400 years. 400-year blues. Sorry. Back in line, back in harness here. We are finishing up yet another fantastic episode. Another chapter of MTV is being put to rest. My name is Henry Rollins, and if you have any comments you'd like to give us about what you think, like we really care, we do. You can send them in to 1515 Broadway. That's 1515 Broadway, the 24th floor, here in New York. Just NYC, comma NY. The zip code is 10036. My name is... And next week, who knows who will be on, but it'll be someone interesting, so you got to tune in and check it out. The show goes on at midnight, 11 Central. Or is that 1 Central? How many? I'm on a lot of monetize right now. 11 Central, of course. And you know it's going to be 2 hours of slamming alternative music video. But if you can't wait, check out my favorite...